The battlefield was silent. Broken ships floated in the endless dark. Flashes of dead fire still burned faintly, like ghosts of a war that had already ended. The human salvage crew moved carefully through the wreckage, searching for parts, supplies, anything that still had value. Among them was a young engineer named Daniel. He was not a soldier, not a commander, just a simple man who fixed machines and patched broken wires. But today, as he moved his flashlight across the remains of a shattered escape pod, something made his heart stop. Inside the pod was movement. At first, he thought it was just a shadow, maybe a trick of his tired eyes, but then he saw her, an alien girl, weak and trembling, her silver skin marked with wounds, her eyes glowing faintly like stars lost in the dark. Daniel froze. Every story he had heard about aliens told him to stay away. They were enemies, monsters, threats, but as he looked at her, he saw not a monster, not a soldier, but a fragile being, someone clinging to life. The other humans shouted from behind him, "Leave it, Daniel, it's just another alien. Let it die," but he did not move. His hand reached into the pod, offering a small water pouch. The alien girl stared at him with fear, but also with hunger and need. Slowly, she took the water, her lips shaking as she drank. The crew muttered behind him, angry that he wasted time. But Daniel felt something different. He felt respect. She was alive, and that alone was reason enough to help. When she finished drinking, her hand slipped, brushing against his, and then it happened. A faint glow spread across her palm. Like fire made of light, strange symbols formed on her skin, and the same light burned on his hand where she touched him. Daniel gasped, pulling back, but the glow followed, sinking into his skin. The alien girl whispered words in a language he did not understand. Her voice weak but full of strange power, her glowing eyes fixed on him, and though he could not understand the words, he felt their meaning. "You are mine now. Forever." The crew laughed nervously. "Daniel, what did it do to you?" But he had no answer. His heart pounded as he looked at her. Was this a curse or a gift? The commander of the salvage team arrived. He ordered Daniel to step away, to leave the alien. But the girl pushed herself forward, clinging to Daniel's arm with surprising strength. Her voice rose again, broken but fierce. "Chosen," she called him. The word sharp and heavy with meaning. The commander frowned, his hand on his weapon. "Daniel, step back. That thing is dangerous," but Daniel shook his head. "She's not a thing, she's alive, she's just scared." Silence fell for a moment. The wreckage creaked around them. The empty stars watching, the alien girl held on, her glowing mark still shining on Daniel's skin. She refused to let go. Daniel felt a strange heat in his chest, as if her heartbeat was echoing inside him. Then alarms echoed through their ship. Something outside had shifted, something big. The sensors screamed with warning. The commander turned sharply. "Enemy ships moving toward us." Daniel looked at the alien girl. Her eyes glowed brighter, and she whispered again, "They come for me." The crew panicked, shouting, running to their stations, but Daniel could not move. His hand burned where she had touched him. His mind filled with her voice. Even though she did not speak, he felt her fear, her pain, and something else, something deeper, bond. The commander shouted at him again, "Drop her, Daniel." Ow, but his feet would not move. His hand refused to let go, something bigger than him, bigger than the crew had begun. The alien girl pressed her forehead against his chest. "You respect me," she whispered. "So I claim you." The glow spread wider, wrapping both of them in strange light. Daniel's breath shook. The crew stared in horror. And outside in the darkness, massive enemy ships moved closer. The war was not over, it was only beginning. The salvage ship drifted away from the broken battlefield. The crew worked in silence, their eyes full of fear. Daniel sat in the corner of the medical bay, his hand still glowing faintly. Beside him, the alien girl lay on a bed, her silver skin patched with wounds, her breathing slow but steady. No one wanted to be near her. Some called her a curse. Others whispered she was a spy, but she never left Daniel's side. Even when she slept, her fingers reached for him, as if afraid he would vanish. At first, Daniel tried to tell himself it was only fear. She had been rescued. She clung to the one who helped her. But deep inside, he knew it was something else. Every time she touched him, he felt it, the strange bond. A current running through his chest, connecting them. At night, he dreamed of her. Not in normal dreams, but in visions. He saw stars burning, ships falling, strange temples filled with light, and always her face whispering a single word. "Chosen." The next morning, Daniel walked into the mess hall. Every soldier stopped eating and stared. The alien girl walked behind him like a shadow. Her eyes scanning every face. One soldier spat on the floor. "You're bringing the enemy here, Daniel." "She doesn't belong with us," Daniel ignored him. But the alien girl did not. Her eyes glowed faintly, and the lights in the room flickered. The soldier froze, fear twisting across his face. The glow vanished, but the warning was clear. No one insulted her again. Later, in the engine bay, Daniel worked on a broken panel. He struggled with the heavy tools, but suddenly they lifted, light as air. He looked to the side. She was watching him. Her hand raised slightly. "You struggle, I help," she said softly, her voice rough with human words she barely learned. Daniel felt uneasy. It was not just her strength, it was her choice to help only him. When others came near, she turned away, silent, cold. But with him she was different, almost gentle. The commander called Daniel to his office. "She is dangerous," the commander said, his voice hard. "The crew is afraid. Accidents happen when she is near. Systems break, lights die, people get hurt." Daniel shook his head. "She saved me, she trusts me, she just needs time." The commander leaned closer. "No, Daniel, she needs to be sent away, before she destroys us all." That night, Daniel returned to the medbay. He found her sitting by the window, staring at the stars. "You hear their words," she whispered, not turning to him. "They wish to cut me away from you." Daniel sat beside her. "They don't understand," he said. She finally looked at him, her glowing eyes wet with tears. "You respect me, only you, no other human does." Suddenly, alarms screamed through the ship. Daniel jumped up. The crew ran past the door shouting, "Reactor failure, Section 5. He rushed with them, finding smoke pouring from the walls, sparks flying like fire. The commander barked orders. But before anyone could move, the alien girl appeared, her hands glowed, and the smoke bent away, pulled into nothing. Metal hissed as if cooled by invisible water. The reactor lights steadied, power returned. The crew froze in shock. She had stopped the failure in seconds. But instead of thanks, they only stared at her with fear. One soldier whispered, "She caused it, she's controlling the ship." The alien girl's eyes flashed dangerously. Her voice rang out sharp and clear. "Harm me, and ship will suffer, bond protects." Her words echoed through the bay. The commander stepped forward, hand on his weapon. "You threaten us?" he demanded. But before she could answer, Daniel pushed between them. "No. She's warning us, something is happening. Something bigger than us," and then the sensors screamed again. This time it was not a reactor failure. It was something outside, something moving fast. The crew rushed to the control deck, through the windows of the ship. They saw shadows rising in the distance, warships, sleek, black, alive with deadly fire, an enemy fleet more than they could count. The alien girl stood at the glass, her hands trembling. "They come," she whispered, her voice breaking. "They come for me." Daniel felt the bond burn inside him. Her fear became his fear. Her heartbeat pounded in his chest. He knew then that his life had changed forever. The war was not finished, it had only followed them home. The enemy fleet filled the stars like a storm. Black warships moved in silence, their weapons glowing with deadly light. The human crew stood frozen at their stations, fear in every breath. Only Daniel's heart beat louder than the alarms because he felt her fear inside him. The alien girl stood tall in the center of the control deck. Her silver skin glowed faintly, her eyes like burning stars. "They come for me," she whispered again, her voice trembling. "If they take me, all of you will die." The commander's face hardened. "Then we give you to them," he said coldly. "You're their target, not us." Daniel's chest tightened. His voice broke out before he could stop it. "No, we can't. She's not an enemy. She's—" But the alien girl cut him off, her voice stronger, sharper than before. "He is my bond," she declared, pointing to Daniel. "His life is my life. If I die, he dies," the crew gasped. Some shouted in anger, others in disbelief. Daniel felt the heat burn through his veins, the glowing marks on his hand flaring like fire. It was true, the bond was real. He felt it in every heartbeat, in every breath. If she was killed, he would fall with her. The commander slammed his fist on the console. "This is madness, Daniel. You've doomed us all." But Daniel's voice was steady now. "I didn't choose this, but I won't abandon her." The alien girl turned, her glowing hand brushing Daniel's chest. Her voice softened, filled with sorrow. "In my people's law, when saved with respect, the bond forms it cannot break. Not by death, not by war, not by choice. You are chosen. Forever. Silence filled the deck. The weight of her words pressed on every human there. One soldier hissed, "She's lying, trying to trap us." Another muttered, "Then why do the systems fail when she's in danger?" Because the truth was clear. Strange things had already begun. Lights flickered when she was threatened. Engines broke when she was hated. And when she was helped, the ship worked again. It was not only her bond with Daniel. It was the whole ship. The bond was alive. Outside, the enemy fleet spread wider, surrounding them. A voice crackled through the comms, deep and sharp. "Return the girl, human vessel, or be destroyed." The commander looked at Daniel. Then at the girl, he raised his weapon slowly. But before he could aim, the alien girl cried out. Her body shone with blinding light, her voice shaking the deck. "No one takes me. No one breaks the bond." The entire ship shuddered. Panels rattled. Sparks fell from the ceiling. The humans stumbled as gravity bent for a moment. Daniel grabbed her shoulders. "Stop! You'll tear the ship apart." But her eyes glowed brighter, her voice echoing in his skull. "They will not take me, and they will not take you." The crew stared in shock as the glow faded slowly. The commander lowered his weapon, sweat on his brow. Daniel held her close. Feeling her trembling, she was strong. But she was also afraid. The bond made her powerful. But it also made her fragile. A message flashed on the main screen. The enemy fleet was charging weapons. Countdown beginning, 10 seconds to fire. The crew panicked, shouting orders. Preparing shields, Daniel looked at the girl. "Can you stop them?" he asked. Her head shook, her voice broken. "Not yet. Bond is too new. I am weak, but if you stay, if you trust, I grow," the commander snapped. "We don't have time for trust, Daniel." But Daniel only tightened his grip. "Then we fight together." The countdown ticked. 5, 4, 3. The alien girl stepped forward, raising her hand toward the stars. The glowing marks on her skin spread like fire across her body. Daniel's chest burned with the same fire, the bond pulling them as one. A wave of light burst from her hand. Wrapping the human ship in a shield, the enemy fleet fired, blazing weapons cutting through the void. But the shield held, glowing like a sun in the darkness. The humans gasped, staring in awe. The alien girl collapsed into Daniel's arms, her body shaking. "I cannot hold long," she whispered. "They will break through." Daniel lifted her carefully, his voice steady. "Then we find another way." The commander's eyes narrowed. "Daniel, listen to me. If she stays, we all die, but if we hand her over, maybe they'll spare us." The alien girl's hand tightened on Daniel's arm, her voice weak but fierce. "If they take me, they take you, and if they take you, they win." Daniel looked into her glowing eyes. He knew then that there was no way back. The bond was not only real, it was unbreakable. And the enemy fleet outside was proof that the universe would not let them live in peace. The alarm screamed again. The countdown restarted, louder, faster. The commander raised his hand, torn between survival and betrayal. But before he could decide, the enemy ships moved closer, weapons locked. The war had found them again, and this time, Daniel and the alien girl stood at the center of it. The enemy fleet closed in like a wall of shadows. Dozens of warships formed a circle around the human vessel, their weapons glowing with deadly fire. Every second the circle grew tighter. Every second the crew's fear grew heavier. Inside the command deck, silence ruled. Broken only by the steady hum of alarms, Daniel stood at the center, the alien girl leaning weakly against him. Her silver skin was dim now, the glowing marks fading as if her strength had been drained, but her eyes never left the ships outside. "They will not stop," she whispered, her voice soft but filled with truth. "They have smelled the bond, and they fear it." The commander turned sharply, his voice hard. "Then we give them what they want, Daniel. We hand her over before they destroy us all." The crew murmured in agreement, some nodding, some gripping their weapons as if ready to drag her away. But Daniel shook his head, his voice steady though his chest burned. "If you give her away, you give me away too. You heard her. Our lives are tied." The commander's eyes narrowed. "You would risk the whole crew for one alien girl?" Daniel's jaw clenched. "I don't risk her, I protect her, just like she protected us." The alien girl lifted her head, her weak voice cutting through the room. "I can call them my people, they will hear me. They will stop the fleet." Her words spread confusion. Some crew looked hopeful, others suspicious. The commander folded his arms. "And how do we know it's not a trick?" The girl's glowing eyes softened with sorrow. You do not, but if you trust me, maybe you live. If you betray me, surely you die. The weight of her words hung heavy. Daniel felt her tremble against him, felt her fear running through the bond. She was not lying. He could feel it inside his own chest. She believed every word outside. The enemy fleet shifted, preparing to fire again. The countdown began on the screen. 10, 9, 8. The commander shouted orders, raising shields, readying weapons, but everyone knew it was useless. Their small ship could not survive a full assault. Daniel looked at the alien girl. Do it, call them, he urged. Her hands glowed faintly, trembling as she pressed them against the glass. Her lips moved, whispering in her language, words that rang like bells through the air. The ship itself seemed to vibrate with her voice. The lights dimmed, the walls shook. The air turned sharp. For a moment nothing happened. Then the comms filled with a sound, an echo of her voice repeating across the stars. The enemy fleet hesitated, weapons paused, as if they too heard the call. But then their lights flared brighter. Instead of retreating, they closed in faster. The alien girl gasped, her strength faltering. They do not listen. They obey a stronger hand. Someone commands them, someone who wants the bond broken. The crew panicked, shouting. The commander cursed, his voice rising. This is hopeless, Daniel. We can't fight this. But Daniel held the girl tighter. We don't give up, he said, his eyes burning. We fight. The countdown reached 3. Outside, the fleet's weapons lit the stars. The alien girl's body trembled. The bond inside Daniel pulsed harder than ever. He felt her pain, her desperation, her will to protect. And then she moved with a scream. She pulled away from Daniel, walking toward the airlock. Her body glowed brighter with each step. What are you doing? Daniel cried, rushing after her. She turned, her eyes full of sorrow and strength. If I die, they may leave you. The bond breaks. The danger ends, Daniel froze. His chest tearing apart, the crew watched in silence. None brave enough to stop her. The commander lowered his weapon, whispering, Maybe she's right. But Daniel's voice roared through the room. No, you don't get to choose death, not like this. He grabbed her arm. Pulling her back, the glow spread between them. Hotter, brighter, almost burning. You are not alone anymore, he said, his voice shaking. You live or I live with you. But we do not end it here. Her glowing eyes widened. Her lips trembled. You would carry me, even hunted, even cursed? Daniel nodded without hesitation. Yes, the countdown reached 1, the fleet fired. A storm of blazing light rushed toward the human ship. The alien girl screamed, the bond burst with power. A shield exploded around the vessel, brighter than before, stronger. The enemy's fire struck it like waves crashing against stone. The crew stared in awe, their ship still whole, still alive. But the alien girl collapsed into Daniel's arms. Unconscious, her body weak, her glow dim. The crew gasped, some cheering, some whispering fearfully. Daniel held her close, his eyes burning with anger and resolve. He looked at the commander. She saved us again. And still you doubt her. The commander said nothing. But outside, the fleet moved closer once more. This time their ship spread wide, opening a path in the stars. And through that path came something larger, darker, older, a ship unlike the others, massive and alive. Its surface glowing with ancient symbols. Daniel's heart froze even before the sensors screamed. He felt it through the bond. This was no ordinary ship. It was something ancient, something that had been waiting for them, and it had come to claim them both. The massive alien ship drifted into view. It was larger than anything the humans had ever seen, its hull carved with glowing lines that pulsed like veins. The smaller warships scattered to the sides. Giving the giant vessel space, silence filled the human ship. Every eye locked on the ancient shadow outside. Daniel held the alien girl in his arms, her skin dimmed, her body weak. Her breathing shallow, yet even in her weakness, he felt her heartbeat inside him, echoing through the bond. The commander's voice cracked through the silence. We can't fight that, Daniel. We don't even know what it is. The alien girl stirred, her glowing eyes opening slightly. Her voice was faint but filled with dread. It is an ark, one of the old ones. They are the keepers of the bond, and they have come for us. The crew gasped, fear spreading like fire. Some whispered that this was the end. Others prayed to gods that never answered. The commander's hand shook as he gripped the console. What do they want with us? The alien girl's gaze turned to Daniel. Her voice was soft, broken. They want him, they want the bond. They will take him unless he rejects me, unless he chooses to let me die. Daniel froze, the words slicing through him like knives. The crew turned to him, their eyes desperate. Some begged him silently to end it, to cut the bond and save them all. Others looked at him with pity. Knowing the weight on his shoulders, the commander stepped forward. "This is your choice, Daniel. You keep her, and we all burn. Or you let her go and maybe we live." His words echoed through the deck like a verdict. The alien girl lifted a trembling hand. Her fingers brushed Daniel's face, her touch warm even in her weakness. "If you release me, I will fade, but you will live. You will be free." Her eyes glistened with tears that shimmered like silver. "But if you hold me, you will carry my curse forever, hunted, hated, never safe again." Daniel's chest ached, his heart heavy. Through the bond he felt her sorrow, her fear, her quiet wish for him to live even if she could not. But he also felt her hope, fragile and hidden. The hope that he would not abandon her. The ship shook suddenly, a deep voice filling the comms. It was not a voice of flesh, but of something ancient, something eternal, human. "Choose," it commanded, "life without the bond, or death with it." The crew shouted around him, "Let her go! Save yourself! Don't doom us for an alien." But Daniel heard only the bond inside his chest, the voice that was not words but feelings. The alien girl's soul reaching for his, he whispered, almost to himself, "I will not let you die." Her glowing eyes widened, her lips trembling. "You choose me?" Daniel nodded, his voice firm. "Yes, I choose you." In that instant, the bond flared brighter than ever before. The ship was drowned in light, walls vibrating, consoles sparking, air shaking. The crew stumbled, shielding their eyes. The commander shouted, but his words were lost in the roar. The ancient ship outside responded, its glowing lines shifting, moving like living veins. A beam of energy shot toward them, not of fire but of control. It wrapped around the human vessel, pulling it forward like a toy in the hands of a giant. The crew screamed, but Daniel only held the alien girl tighter. Her glow mixed with his heartbeat, the bond making them one. The human ship was dragged into the ark, swallowed by its vast open hangar. Inside, the space was endless, filled with strange machines older than time. The walls pulsed with light, each beat matching the rhythm of the bond. The crew stood in silence, staring at the impossible. And then the voice returned, louder, closer. "You have chosen, human. Then face the consequence." The floor beneath them split open, revealing a rising platform. From it stepped towering figures made of light and shadow. Their bodies shifted like smoke, their faces hidden behind masks of stone. The alien girl gasped, her voice breaking. "Guardians of the bond," the tallest figure stepped forward, its voice like thunder. "No human has been chosen in 1,000 years. No alien has dared to bind across blood since the War of Silence." Its glowing eyes turned to Daniel. "You choose her, then you defy us." The alien girl clung to him, her voice desperate. "They will kill you. They will kill us both." But Daniel's voice did not shake. "Then let them try." The guardians raised their hands, light sparking between their fingers. The crew screamed. The commander shouted orders, weapons useless against gods. The alien girl wrapped her arms around Daniel, her whisper trembling in his ear. "If you stand with me now, you stand with me forever." Daniel closed his eyes. The bond burning like fire. "Forever," he whispered back. The guardians unleashed their power. Light filled the hangar like a storm, and the human ship vanished into the blaze. Light swallowed the human ship, every wall, every console. Every breath of air drowned in blinding fire. The crew cried out, shielding their eyes. But Daniel felt no pain. The alien girl pressed against him, her body trembling. Yet the bond burned stronger than ever. Then the light faded. Silence filled the air, heavy and endless. The crew gasped, looking around. The ship was no longer inside the ark's hangar. It floated in a vast chamber of silver walls, tall as mountains, endless as the void. Strange patterns glowed across the walls, symbols older than stars. The commander's voice shook. "Where are we?" The alien girl's eyes widened, fear and awe in her glowing gaze. "We are inside the core, the heart of the ark. No one has stood here for ages." Suddenly, the floor beneath them shifted. Steps of light formed, leading toward a circle of stone in the center of the chamber. From the circle rose the guardians, tall figures of shadow and flame, their voices echoing like thunder. "You defy the order of ages, human. You carry the bond that was forbidden." Daniel stepped forward. His fists clenched. You call it forbidden. But I didn't choose this, I only showed her respect. The tallest guardian leaned down, its mask glowing with fire. And respect has doomed you. For the bond is not simple kindness. It is the chain of life. What you carry is a fragment of the first law, the alien girl gasped, her silver hand trembling as she gripped Daniel's arm. The first law, she whispered. My people spoke of it only in legends. A law that joined hearts of different worlds, so they could not turn to war. The guardians' voices rose together. Yes, long ago, the bond united many races. Humans were not chosen then, for they were young and hidden. But the bond was broken in the war of silence. Now it awakens again. And it awakens in you. The crew stood frozen. Fear etched across every face, the commander whispered. So we are prisoners of an ancient law. But Daniel's voice was steady. No, we are proof that it still works. The alien girl's eyes shone with tears. Daniel, don't you see? They will not let us live. They will end us to keep the law buried. The tallest guardian raised a hand. You speak true, for the bond must remain lost. If it spreads, if others follow, war will rise again. Better to end one human and one alien than risk the galaxy. The crew cried out in protest, some shouting to fight, others begging to surrender. Daniel's chest burned with fire, the bond pulsing like a drum. He felt her fear, but also her trust, her silent faith that he would not give in. He stepped forward, glaring at the towering beings. You think killing us will bring peace, but you're wrong. If respect creates the bond, then fear destroys it. If you kill us, you prove that fear wins. The chamber trembled, the walls glowing brighter. The guardians shifted, their forms flickering like smoke in the wind. For a moment, silence, then one guardian spoke, its voice softer than the others. Perhaps the bond must be tested, not ended. The alien girl clutched Daniel's hand, her whisper urgent. They will test us with trials, and if we fail, we die. Daniel squeezed her hand. Then we won't fail. The floor beneath them split open. The crew screamed as the ship was lowered into a pit of light. When the glow faded, they were no longer in the chamber. Instead, they stood on a barren world. Red skies above, black sand stretching to the horizon. The ship was gone, the guardians' voices rang from the sky. Trial of strength begins. From the horizon rose creatures of fire and stone, their bodies massive, their eyes burning with hunger. The crew raised their weapons, but Daniel felt the bond ignite again. The alien girl's body glowed, her power flowing into him like a river. He lifted his hand and light burst from his palm. Striking the creature's back, the crew gasped, staring at him as if he had become something more than human. The alien girl's voice echoed inside his mind. Together we are strong, apart we are nothing. Daniel nodded, his chest burning with her fire. Then together we fight. The creatures roared. Charging across the black sand, the crew fired. Daniel raised shields of light. The alien girl unleashed streams of energy. The battlefield shook, fire and light clashing under the red sky. For the first time, the crew saw not a curse, but a weapon, not an enemy, but a shield. One by one, the creatures fell, their bodies turning to ash in the sand. When the last monster collapsed, silence returned. The red sky trembled, the guardians' voices filling the air. You passed the trial of strength, but strength alone is not enough. The sand split open, swallowing the crew, the world crumbling away. Daniel clutched the alien girl as they fell. Her voice whispered through the bond. Next comes the trial of truth, and the truth may break us. The fall ended in blinding light, and before them rose a hall of mirrors, endless and shining. Each mirror reflected not their faces, but their fears, and deep within the reflections, shadows moved, waiting. The guardians' voices echoed once more. Face the truth, or fall to nothing. The hall of mirrors stretched endlessly. Each surface shimmered with strange light, reflecting not only faces but fears. The crew stood close together, their voices hushed, their eyes filled with unease. Daniel felt the bond pulse inside his chest, the alien girl's hand trembling in his. The guardians' voices echoed across the chamber. Trial of truth begins, no blade can cut it, no fire can burn it. Only hearts may face it. The mirrors shifted. Rippling like water, Daniel stepped forward, and the glass before him changed. It showed him standing alone. The alien girl gone, his crew alive, safe, free, it whispered, "Let her go. Save your people." Daniel's chest tightened. The reflection smiled at him with his own face, a face free of pain. But when he looked down at the alien girl beside him, weak and tired yet clinging to his hand, he felt the bond burn brighter. "No," he whispered. "I will not let her go." Another mirror rose before the alien girl. It showed her world destroyed, her people gone, her bond with Daniel dragging him into fire. The reflection hissed, "Release him, save him from your curse." Tears filled her glowing eyes. Her hand shook as if she might pull away, but Daniel squeezed tighter. "You don't decide alone anymore," he said. "We choose together," the mirrors screamed. Their surfaces cracking, shadows crawled out of the glass. Figures shaped like the crew, like soldiers, like monsters from the war. They surrounded Daniel and the alien girl, whispering lies. "Human and alien cannot walk together. You will doom each other. Bond means death." The alien girl's voice broke. "I am afraid, Daniel. What if they are right?" Daniel lifted her chin, his eyes steady. "Then we prove them wrong." He stepped forward, pulling her with him. Every mirror shattered in their path, glass raining down like falling stars. The shadows shrieked, fading into dust. The hall trembled, walls collapsing until only one mirror remained. This one was different, smooth and calm, showing not lies but their true selves. It reflected Daniel and the alien girl standing together, their hands joined, the bond glowing like fire across both bodies. The guardians' voices thundered. "You have faced truth and chosen each other, then face the final law." The chamber collapsed into light. The crew found themselves once more inside the core of the Ark. Standing on the silver floor before the towering guardians, the tallest one stepped forward, its mask glowing brighter than the sun. "You have passed strength. You have passed truth, but one choice remains. Break the bond and return to your world, free but alone, or keep it, and be bound forever, hunted, feared, never safe again." The crew held their breath. Staring at Daniel, the commander whispered, "Daniel, think, this is your last chance." The alien girl turned to him, her eyes filled with pain. "Daniel, if you release me, you will live, you will be free. Your people will forgive you." Her voice cracked. "If you keep me, you will never know peace." Daniel closed his eyes, his chest burning. He remembered the battlefield where he found her, broken and afraid. He remembered the crew shouting to abandon her, and he remembered her whisper, "You respect me." When he opened his eyes, his voice was steady. "I choose her, I choose the bond, forever." The chamber shook, the guardians' forms flickering wildly. Some cried out in rage, others bowed their heads. The tallest guardian raised its hand, fire swirling like a storm. "You defy us, yet the law accepts your choice, human and alien." Claimed forever, light burst from the Ark. Spreading across the stars, every enemy warship froze. Their weapons dimmed, their engines silenced. The crew gasped as the giant vessels pulled back, retreating into the void. The Ark released the human ship, setting it free among the stars. Daniel held the alien girl close, her body glowing brighter than ever. Through the bond he felt her joy, her relief, her love. "You gave me respect," she whispered softly. "And now I give you forever." The crew watched in silence, some with awe, some with fear. The commander turned away, whispering, "Maybe humanity has changed," but Daniel knew the truth. This was not an ending, it was only the beginning. The bond had been seen, the law had awakened, and somewhere in the dark others would come. Some as allies, some as enemies, but whatever came, he and the alien girl would face it together. The stars stretched before them, endless and waiting. The bond burned brighter, a fire that could not be broken, human and alien claimed forever.